If you're looking at lifestyle, if you're looking at life in perfect balance, you're getting the best of both worlds. You've got apartment living, but you've got an abundance of amenity in the local area.
I'm Jimmy Thompson, Design Director at MJA Studio.
And I'm Nick Zabrowski, the Managing Director of Mastera Property Group. And today we're launching our latest project, Verse on McCabe.
So we're in North Fremantle at the moment, and this is the point where the river gets closest to the sea. And, it's a place in transition. It's got an industrial past, but it's going into a luxe future.
I think what I really love about the location is also the natural features that you see in and around North Fremantle. So you've got the likes of Rocky Bay and Rocky Bay Cove and the limestone features which creep back up into the areas around Buckland Hill.
MJA Studio really specialises in housing of all types, and we really understand local conditions and how to design for the local environment and the way that people want to live in Perth.
Mastera is a development platform for high quality residential projects and commercial projects across Western Australia. We purchased the project some time ago, and we really worked for a long period to try and identify the right product mix and identify who our target market was so that we could align ourselves with our objectives with MJA and create that design brief to then creating the outcome of Verse on McCabe.
In Perth, we want to live outside, but we also understand where the wind's coming from. And so for us, it's about creating as much frontage as possible for all apartments. That means you can get great natural light, great cross ventilation, but you've also got choice around getting out of the wind here while maintaining views. So our deep understanding around what it's like to live in Perth is how we go about apartment planning. And so as you walk up from street level, you're embraced by what is really quite a tactile series of portals. And these really reflect the limestone geology of Rocky Bay. So what's really important about apartment living is frontage. And here at Verse, what we've been able to create is a majority of corner apartments. And that means you get light and ventilation on both sides, but you can also capture amazing views in multiple directions. So when you come into these apartments, the view is revealed to you. And then coming off then is a series of suites of bedrooms, all with really generous en-suites and robes and all the things that you really expect in luxury living. So the architecture at Verse is directly influenced by the landscape that surrounds it. This part of the river has a series of bends in it as it goes towards Fremantle Harbour, and so our floor plates have got this beautiful organic series of curves which wrap all the apartments. And the colour of these apartments is drawn directly from the spring waters of the river when it really runs bronze. The interiors are really about reflecting the limestone stories and the coastal stories of the local area. So you see a lot more of the lighter tones come in, but then there's also a balance of that. So you have choice around the darker schemes, which again reflect the different colours of the river at different times of the year.
We were really excited to align ourselves with Fisher & Paykel for Verse on McCabe because they had the same sustainability and design-led principles as Mastera.
And I think Fisher & Paykel really share that great commitment and approach to sustainability from first principles. I think it's really important with projects to make sure that we get gas out of projects. So we've got induction cooktops, we're all electric. Fisher & Paykel have got a really great approach to embedding sustainability in the way that they create their appliances. And what I really love about their fridges is that choice and control over temperature. In the same way that we think holistically about interiors, what we love about Fisher & Paykel and their appliances is how we can integrate them seamlessly into our design. They always look great, they feel great, they just make spaces good.
As we started to develop the kitchen layouts and how they integrated with the different living spaces within the apartment, really important key part of the design was how the kitchen was going to function and what appliances we were going to provide within that kitchen to make sure that that space became an opulent space, it became an integrated space, and it became a social space. It really became a key element of excitement.
And kitchens are the real heart of the home. And so when you're here, you're surrounded by this luxury of a full suite of Fisher & Paykel appliances. What I think this project really demonstrates is that there is a different type of living for Australians, one that you can downsize in scale of home, but you don't have to give up lifestyle, you don't have to give up quality of architecture or anything like that. It really is the best of both worlds. I'm always really proud of projects which finish the way they started, with a great sense of aspiration, with a great sense of doing something that has legacy and gravitas to it. And I think the commitment to sustainability, to architecture and to interiors just has this really great sense of generosity.